Good morning, 7th grade. You are ready for lesson 7, page 27. It is Thursday morning and we are getting close to being done this week. We have 2 more days of school and hope it's been going well for you. I think you guys have all been doing the best that you can do, and that is what is required. So let's make today good again. And your math lesson is interesting. It's kind of fun. It's talking about time. And I always think this kind of a time as military time, but it's not always known as that. But it just says some digital clocks divide the day into one 24-hour period instead of 2 12-hour periods. Okay, so what we think of time, we go from 12 o'clock midnight to 12 o'clock at lunchtime. And then from there we start back over at 1 o'clock p.m. We have a.m. and p.m. Start over at 1 o'clock p.m. and we go to 12 o'clock midnight when it switches to a.m. Well, not everybody looks at time like that. And says 24-hour digital time helps avoid the confusion in knowing whether a time is AM or PM. So when we look at a time, we need people to write down, is it AM or PM? Because it can be confusing to us. If you go by this digital time, by the way you write, it will tell you if it's AM or PM. In other words, if we have, let's say we have 2:10 a.m. Okay, that's 2 o'clock in the morning. In a digital time, you would write it 0 to 10. You automatically know, if there's a 0 here, you automatically know, oh, that's in the morning. If it would be in the afternoon, you would just write, in the afternoon, instead of going and starting over like our time does, we start at, when we go in the afternoon at lunchtime, we start back at 12, when we say 12:59, and then we switch over to 1 o'clock again. In digital time, you would actually keep on going. And instead of saying at 1 o'clock p.m., you would say 13 o'clock. Or in this case, since ours is 2:10, it would actually be 14:10. And what you do, you just start counting, keep on counting. 12 o'clock, and then you have 13 o'clock, which is at 1 o'clock. 2 o'clock is 14 o'clock. You're basically adding 12 to this. Like if we have 2:10 p.m., this is how you would write this. I should have separated this better. This is how you would write that. In 2 o'clock in the afternoon, in digital time, it's actually 14 o'clock. It's 14:10. So in the morning, AM, we would have 2:10 AM. The digital time would be 0 to 10. You don't have any AM or PM. In our 2:10 PM in the afternoon, in digital time, it's actually 14:10. You're adding 12 to that time. All right? Let's do a couple more. So if, let's say it's 4:30 in the morning, digital time would be 04:30. Okay? No AM or PM, it's just 04:30. Now in 4:30 p.m. in our afternoon, in digital time, it's adding 12 to 4 would be 16:30. No AM or PM. You would just add 12 to this, which would be 16:30. All right, let's do another one. Let's say it's 11 o'clock in the morning. You don't write 0. Okay, you just write it like that. In digital time, you would just write 11 o'clock. All right, if we have 11 o'clock p.m., you would add 12 to that, which would be 23 o'clock in digital time. You don't have AMs and PMs. All right, let's look at some that they give us to do. Turn your page to page 28. It says the airport timetable displays 24-hour digital time to show departure times of flights throughout the day and night. If your plane is leaving at 20:55, you will want to be there well before 8:55 to catch your flight. How do you get from 20:55 to 8:55? You subtract 12 o'clock from 20:55. So if you would see 20:55 on your airport departure time, in order to figure out, okay, you don't want to panic, okay, what time actually this is in our time, or the way we think, you subtract 12 from 20:55. All right, the first things that we're going to do in 1, 2, and 3, we're going to write each of these in 12-hour time. They're giving us digital time, we have to write it in our time. Follow the first two examples. So I'm not sure, all my answers are written in, so I'm not actually sure which, it says follow the first two examples. Okay, do you guys have all of 1 and all of 2 filled in? Or do you just have 1A and B? I don't know. But we're going to start, we'll do 1 and 2 together, and then you guys can do 3. All right, so looking at 1A, it's 13:20. So if we have 13:20, subtract 12 from that, would be 1:20, and that would be PM. That's already into the afternoon. All right, 1B says 35 seconds, so that's, and a 00, so that's early in the morning. So in our time, it would actually be 12:35 a.m. That's in the morning. All right, 11:10, their time, 11:10. So that's obviously 11:10 a.m. Remember, if it would be p.m., it would actually be, adding 12 to this would be 23:10 in digital time. So that tells you this is in the morning, 11:10 a.m. Okay, 2A is 16:05. So that's more than 12. So obviously it's going to be in the afternoon. It's going to be 4:05 p.m. Remember, you can subtract 12 from this to get your time. Be 4:05 p.m. All right, 23:50. All right, you can subtract 12 from that, would be 11:50, and it's obviously p.m. because it's more than 12. And 17 o'clock, that's going to be in the afternoon. It would be 5 p.m. in the afternoon. All right, and going down, you can do the number 3. If you go down to 4, 5, and 6, again, it says follow the first two examples. So I'm not sure, again, what is filled in, but now they're giving us our time, and you have to put in the digital time. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump down to 6. You guys, since I don't know what's filled in exactly, I'm going to jump down to 6 because I know that probably none of those are filled in. So if we have 12:30 a.m. our time, remember it's 12:30 our time is early in the morning, so that means it's 30 minutes in the morning. You don't put a.m. or p.m., it's just 30. 2:05 p.m. All right, so this is in the afternoon, which would be 14:05. And 2:05 a.m. in the morning would be 02:05. All right? Y'all can finish that. If you go up to the top of page 29, I just want to go over just again reminding you what integers are. Remember, those are the negative and the positive numbers. Anything negative or anything positive, there's never any fractions, no decimals, anything like that. They're whole numbers. Counting numbers, remember we start counting with 1 and going on. It's not 0 and it's not negative numbers. And whole numbers start with 0 and go on up. Those don't have any negative numbers. It's just 0 and anything above that. All right, I think you guys can do the rest of this. It looks like things you have already done. So hope this day goes well for you and you have a great day. See you tomorrow.